This week in Jamaica Now, the sudden retirement of Police Commissioner Owen Ellington. It appears he was forced, but the government is steering clear of the latest development. DPP and INDECOM at odds over the extradition request for an ex-cop accused of 40 murders. Water woes worsen, what the government is doing about it, and why the JTA has withdrawn the results of its presidential elections. The details of these and other stories coming up after the break.
Put your flags up in the sky, in the sky. And wave side to side, side to side. Show the world where you're from, show where you're from. We are one, baby. Show the world we are one.
I'm Damian Mitchell, and this is Jamaica Now. The government is steering clear of comments on the development in the matter of the sudden retirement of Police Commissioner Owen Ellington. It has been revealed that at least one of Jamaica's major international partners was considering withdrawing financial support to the government over concerns about extrajudicial killings by the police. Christopher Degnan, the public affairs officer at the United States Embassy in Kingston, says because of those allegations, the U.S. had decided to review the assistance it provides to the Jamaican government. Mr. Degnan further stated that the U.S. wants Jamaica to thoroughly investigate the allegations and bring the perpetrators to justice. But the minister with responsibility for information, Senator Sandria Faulkner, has reserved comments on the revelation.
I would not be able to say that. I think when government to government have conversations, and I don't know that there is any such conversation, but when they do, we would not discuss it in a forum like this. I think it would be a joint communique because we have diplomatic relations and we value those.
But immediately following the announcement that Mr. Ellington was ending his 34-year career in the JCF, the National Security Minister Peter Bunting had said that Mr. Ellington was not forced to do so. Mr. Ellington had indicated that he is stepping away as police commissioner ahead of the start of the West Kingston inquiry into the conduct of the security forces during the operation to nab Christopher Dudus Coke in 2010. Mr. Ellington also says his retirement will allow the Independent Commission of Investigations INDECOM to conduct its probe into the police death squad matter concerning extrajudicial killings in Clarendon. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, has confirmed that she denied a request from INDECOM to begin proceedings for the extradition of a Jamaican ex-policeman alleged to be part of the so-called death squad. The ex-cop is now in police custody in Canada. According to the DPP, the case file from INDECOM is fraught with issues and does not meet the required threshold. She said the file had no evidence to suggest that the ex-cop had committed the crime he was being accused of.
Before we can properly assess whether the evidentiary material involving Mr. Hutchison is sufficient or has met the threshold required to sustain an extradition request, the material on the file would need to be completed by INDECOM, and it has not yet been done.
But the Canadian police say the ex-cop Whitney Hutchinson was arrested on a warrant for murder and is being considered for extradition. INDECOM, through its senior public relations officer Camille Reid, has declined to comment on the matter. Jamaicans have been put on notice that they will be brought before the courts if they use scarce water supplies for non-essential purposes like the washing of cars and watering of lawns. The Water Minister, Robert Pickersgill, has characterized the effects of the below-average rainfall as an island-wide challenge bordering on a crisis. Mr. Pickersgill says there will be a zero-tolerance approach to the use of water for prohibited reasons.
Projections are really dire. I mean, whether it is from the World Meteorological Services or from our local meteorological office. Last May was the hottest month recorded, and they are predicting that this year, since 1880, it will be the hottest year.
The Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, has withdrawn the results of its presidential elections following a challenge by one of the losing candidates. On Tuesday night, the JTA had declared Harmon's primary school principal, Georgia War Richards, as the winner. The JTA said she received 6,079 votes to beat the closest rival, principal of the Four Paths Primary and Junior High, Norman Allen, who polled 5,996 votes. But a day after, JTA President Dr. Mark Nicely said that announcement should not have been made. Dr. Nicely said given the fact that one of the 4 losing candidates decided to challenge the preliminary results, the media release announcing the results had to be withdrawn. However, there have been concerns that the elections are being marred by undue influence. The JTA has declined to comment on the matter, only saying that on July 18, its central executive will consider and decide on the procedures for a recount. The Medical Association of Jamaica, the MAJ, has renewed its objection to the government's retention of the no-user-fee policy for the public health sector. The government had committed to reviewing the policy, which was implemented in 2008, arguing that it was putting a burden on hospitals. In making his contribution to the sectoral debate in Parliament last week, the Health Minister, Dr. Fenton Ferguson, said the abolition of the user fees was a step in the right direction. However, the MAJ President, Dr. Shane Alexis, says the policy has several shortcomings and should be scrapped. Meanwhile, the Health Minister disclosed that a high-level strategic dialogue is to take place later this year to develop a roadmap towards universal health care. The parents of the 4-year-old girl who vanished from their St. Catherine home nearly 2 weeks ago have renewed their appeal for the return of little Samunia Bloomfield. Samunia disappeared under mysterious circumstances on the night of June 20. A day before her birthday on July 2, Samunia's parents visited the Gleaner's offices to make another call for her safe return. The child's father, Chris Neve Bloomfield, says her disappearance has left the family feeling broken.
A child is very important in a family. A child can build a family and a child can break a family. Please, I'm asking, don't break mine. Samunia is very, very important in our family. Each one play a role in our family. Everyone is important. I don't know, I don't care what it may cost. At the end of the day, I just need my child.
The St. Catherine North Street Crime Unit has received high praises for coming to the assistance of a 25-year-old woman who went into labor on the floor of a public bathroom in the Spanish Town bus park in St. Catherine. Team leader Sergeant Hugh Morgan says members were on foot patrol when a member of the public informed them about the distressing situation.
Upon arrival at the bathroom, we saw the lady lying on her back and the baby on the floor. Woman Constable Lois, she immediately rushed to the aid of the baby that was on the ground, and she got a sheet from someone that was close by, and she started to wrap the baby.
Well, when I first opened the door and I saw the baby on the floor, my own intention was to make sure, just to ensure that the baby is safely transported to the hospital.
And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune into Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Until next week, when you'll meet our new host, Carleen Brown, I'm Damian Mitchell, leaving you with more from the father of missing Samunia Bloomfield.
I was at home the other night and my little baby take up a picture of her sister, and she started crying, and I couldn't do nothing to comfort her. She cried actually the whole night. After the whole night, I have to take away the picture from her and hide it. It is taking a very detrimental toll on my family. When she can't speak so well, but she's very smart. She come and dance up, bloody pussy, she miss her sister. When she's gone, she has not been the same. It's a different child. 90% of the time she cries.